totalitarian state, the media are going to have to be somewhat responsive to public opinion. And it's much more true in a country like ours.
Last question. You don't have any concern that CNN and MSNBC are becoming mouthpieces for the U.S. military?
No, they're much less so than they were in the past. So it's not they're becoming, they always were, and it's less so than it used to be. So like, take MSNBC. I mean, you know, since September 11th, the media have opened up somewhat. I mean, I was on MSNBC for a long discussion program in November for the first time ever. It's a reflection of public concerns that are forcing the media to open up a little.
And I hope you're right. I tend to be a little bit skeptical.
Yeah, I should be. I mean, there's the concentration is true, but there are other pressures which I think are more important.
Why?
Thank you.
Why?
Professor Chomsky. Why does the media control the public's opinion like this? Or what's the mechanism by which the government influences the media to control?
It doesn't. I mean, the government has almost no influence over the media.
But so how does that happen? Like, why? I mean, well, what's the underlying mechanism?
It's like asking.
The motivations.
It's kind of like asking suppose somebody asks, how does the government convince General Motors to try to increase profit? It doesn't make any sense. The media are huge corporations which have which share the interests of the corporate sector that dominates the government. The government can't tell the media what to do. They don't have the power to do it here. I mean, let me give you a simple example, really simple one. When the current Intifada started in the occupied territories, started on September 29th. Okay, on October 1st, 2 days later, Israel started using U.S. helicopters. There are no Israeli helicopters; they all come from here. Started using U.S. helicopters to attack civilian targets, apartment complexes and so on, killing and wounding dozens of people. That went on for 2 days. No Palestinian fire, just stone throwing from kids. On October 3rd, after 2 days of this, Clinton made the biggest deal in a decade to send military helicopters to Israel. The media here refused to publish it. To this day, there has not been a report. That was a decision of editors. Like, you know, I happen to know the editors of the Boston Globe. I've been living there for 35 years, and I know all these guys. I actually went and talked to them, you know, and they simply made it clear they're not going to publish it. And the same decision was made by every other newspaper in the United States. The government, literally every one. Somebody did a database search. The only reference to it in the country was a letter to the editor in Raleigh, North Carolina. Now, did the government tell them not to publish it? No. If it had told them not to, they probably would have published it just out of indignation. You know, that happens to be an unusually narrow and easily identifiable case, but it generalizes.
How come humanity is under threat and we are doing much better than 200 years ago?
How come?
Yeah.
You mean in what respect?
Right.
You think it was better to have slavery and kings?
No,
yeah.
What I want to say is that, no, I agree with you, but what I want to say
How did it get better?
No, what I want to say is that we have slavery right now.
But it's not like it was 200 years ago.
But how come now we are under threat when we weren't 200 years ago under threat?
Who wasn't under threat?
Humanity as itself.
Well, because now there's more means of violence. The means of violence are greater.
Question.